What if I told you that WWE just accidentally spoiled their biggest return in years? Matt Riddle scammed a charity for veterans, and Drake is literally obsessed with Rhea Ripley. You won't believe what happened behind the scenes this week. I'm going to reveal 7 explosive stories that are shaking the wrestling world right now, including one lawsuit that could destroy a wrestling family's reputation forever. Welcome back to the channel where we break down the wildest wrestling stories before anyone else. If you're new here, I deliver the most shocking WWE news, backstage drama, and industry secrets that other channels won't touch. Today's episode is absolutely loaded. We've got confirmed returns, career-ending controversies, and legal battles that could change everything. Here's what we're covering. First, AJ Lee's return is confirmed, but WWE completely botched the surprise. Then, we'll expose why Matt Riddle is being called a scumbag by the entire wrestling community. Plus, Ric Flair just called out Triple H's booking decisions, and there's a lawsuit brewing that involves Rampage Jackson's son. But here's the thing, the most shocking story is saved for last, and it involves a wrestling legend who just shut down a dream match that fans have been begging for. Make sure you stick around because that revelation will blow your mind. Let's start with the biggest story that has the wrestling world buzzing. AJ Lee is officially returning to WWE, and it's happening sooner than anyone expected. Now, here's where this gets interesting. Brian Alvarez from Wrestling Observer Radio is reporting that AJ Lee is 100% returning, and get this, she's going to team with CM Punk against Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins in a mixed tag match at WrestlePalooza on September 20th. But that's not even the crazy part. According to my sources, AJ could be showing up as early as this Friday on SmackDown in Chicago. Think about the timing here. CM Punk's hometown, the perfect setup for maximum impact. Backstage wrestlers are reportedly going crazy with excitement, especially the women's roster, who grew up watching AJ dominate the Divas division. But here's what makes this story even more compelling. One veteran wrestler told Fightful that they were shocked this actually happened because CM Punk would usually dismiss questions about AJ's return. They believed he was being respectful of whatever his wife wanted to do. The fact that this is happening now tells us everything about how much WWE values their relationship with Punk. Now, remember, AJ retired in 2015 due to injury concerns. For her to come back and actually wrestle means WWE's medical team has cleared her completely. We've seen legends like Edge, Stone Cold, and Shawn Michaels return from career-ending injuries, so this isn't unprecedented, but it's still remarkable. But here's where WWE completely screwed up, and you're not going to believe how badly they botched this surprise. WWE literally spoiled their own surprise return through the most embarrassing mistake possible. Last night, the official WWE Shop Twitter account replied to a fan saying they were hoping to have new AJ Lee merchandise ready for WrestlePalooza. The post was quickly deleted, but screenshots live forever on the internet. Now, WWE claims their shop uses an AI bot for social media replies. But come on, this is either the worst AI malfunction in history or someone backstage hit sent too early. Either way, this is a massive spoiler for what should have been one of the biggest surprise returns in recent memory. The wrestling community is already comparing the WrestlePalooza card to a mini WrestleMania. We're talking Cody Rhodes versus Drew McIntyre for the WWE Championship, the rumored Brock Lesnar versus John Cena, and the Usos taking on Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. This is WWE pulling out all the stops for their ESPN debut, especially since it's the same day as AEW All Out. Speaking of people making terrible decisions, let's talk about Matt Riddle and why the entire wrestling community is calling him an absolute scumbag. This story is going to make your blood boil. Matt Riddle no-showed a charity wrestling event in England and kept the deposit money. But this wasn't just any charity event. This was raising money for domestic abuse survivors and homeless veterans. Cultaholic broke this exclusive story. Riddle was booked to face Simon Miller at Global Wrestling Kingdom's New Kingdom Rises event in Barnsley, England, on August 31st. He never showed up. He never traveled to the UK. And he's refusing to return the deposit money that was supposed to help veterans and abuse survivors. Let me be crystal clear about this. If these allegations are true, this is absolutely disgusting behavior. We're talking about a man who made millions in WWE, who has the resources to honor his commitments, choosing to scam a charity that helps the most vulnerable people in our society. Riddle hasn't responded to these allegations yet, and honestly, I'm not sure what excuse could possibly justify this behavior. The wrestling community has been brutal in their response, and rightfully so. This isn't just about missing a booking. This is about stealing money from people who needed it most. You know what really gets me about this? Wrestling has always been about giving back to the community. Some of the greatest wrestlers in history have used their platform to help others. To see someone abuse that trust, especially when it involves veterans and abuse survivors, it's heartbreaking. But Riddle isn't the only one facing criticism this week. Ric Flair just went public with some harsh words for Triple H's booking decisions. The Nature Boy is not happy with how WWE is using Randy Orton, and he's not afraid to say it. In a recent interview with Escapist magazine, Ric Flair basically called out Triple H for wasting one of WWE's greatest talents. Here's what Flair said, and I'm quoting directly, "The only person who I think is close to Charlotte when he's on and healthy, when you think about ring timing and knowing where you are all the time, is Randy Orton. Randy's really underutilized these days. I don't know why. I think maybe he made somebody mad along the way." Now, this is coming from Ric Flair, a man who knows championship booking better than almost anyone. When he says Randy Orton is being underutilized, that carries serious weight. And honestly, looking at Orton's booking since his 2023 return, it's hard to disagree. Orton has been primarily used to put over other talent, and his win-loss record on premium live events has been underwhelming. For a 14-time world champion, someone who should be treated with the same respect as John Cena, this booking feels like WWE is taking him for granted. Flair also mentioned that Randy isn't afraid to speak his mind, and that's not always popular backstage. This suggests there might be some behind-the-scenes tension that we're not seeing on television. But speaking of behind-the-scenes tension, there's a legal battle brewing that could destroy a wrestling family's reputation, and it involves MMA legend Rampage Jackson's son. This story is absolutely wild and could have serious legal consequences. Roger Jackson, son of MMA legend Quinton Rampage Jackson, is facing potential legal action after a brutal assault on wrestler Stuart "Psycho" Stu Smith at a Knox Pro Wrestling event on August 23rd. The attack was so severe that Psycho Stu ended up in critical care with serious facial injuries, including trauma to both jaws, a maxilla fracture, and a lacerated upper lip. This wasn't wrestling, this was assault, and it was all caught on video. Doug the Epic Mallow revealed on the Scaling Up podcast that lawyers are now involved on both sides. He emphasized there's a high probability of legal proceedings, and honestly, with video evidence of the assault, Psycho Stu has a strong case. Here's what makes this even more interesting. Rampage Jackson's reputation is now on the line. If this goes to court, the publicity could be devastating for the Jackson family. My guess is they'll try to settle out of court to avoid the media circus, but the damage to their reputation might already be done. The wrestling community has been watching this story closely because it highlights the importance of safety and professionalism in independent wrestling. When someone crosses the line from performance to actual violence, there have to be consequences. Now, while we're talking about wrestlers who can't compete anymore, there's a WWE legend who just broke fans' hearts by shutting down a dream match. This one hits right in the feels. Kurt Angle, one of John Cena's greatest rivals, has officially shut down any possibility of facing Cena during his retirement tour. And the reason will break your heart. During an appearance on Mike Check with Ken Anderson, Angle revealed that he wishes he could wrestle Cena one more time, but his body simply can't handle it anymore. Listen to what he said. "I wish I could. Man, I can't. That would be very tempting, but there's just no way possible. I've had my knees replaced. I've had my shoulders replaced. I've had 5 neck surgeries and 2 back surgeries. My body is just really banged up." This is absolutely heartbreaking because Angle vs. Cena was the match fans wanted to see for Angle's retirement in 2019. WWE had the perfect opportunity then, and they missed it. Now, with Cena's retirement tour happening, that dream match is impossible. But here's what WWE could still do. They could bring Angle back for a promo segment or backstage moment with Cena. Give the fans some closure on one of the greatest rivalries in WWE history. It wouldn't be a match, but it would be something special for the fans who remember their incredible feuds. You know, this really shows how brutal the wrestling business can be on the human body. Kurt Angle gave everything to this industry, and now he's paying the price. It's a reminder that these wrestlers are real people with real consequences from their careers. Speaking of unexpected wrestling connections, you'll never guess which global superstar is obsessed with Rhea Ripley. This story is absolutely hilarious and shows just how mainstream WWE has become. Drake, yes, the Grammy-winning rapper Drake, is apparently obsessed with Rhea Ripley, and he's not shy about admitting it. During an appearance on Bobby Althoff's YouTube channel, Drake revealed that his Instagram For You page is just all Rhea Ripley. When Bobby asked who that was, Drake said, "She's a wrestler. She's my muse." He went on to say that she's probably the opposite of everything he likes and lives, but he can't stop watching her content. This is absolutely incredible for WWE's mainstream appeal. When one of the biggest music stars in the world is publicly talking about your wrestlers, that's the kind of crossover appeal that money can't buy. Drake was already spotted at the 2025 Elimination Chamber, so this obsession is clearly real. I guarantee you WWE is already working on ways to capitalize on this. Don't be surprised if we see Drake make another WWE appearance, possibly even interacting with Rhea Ripley directly. This is the kind of celebrity endorsement that can introduce WWE to entirely new audiences. Before we wrap up, let me hit you with a few more quick stories that are making waves. Karrion Kross has confirmed his WWE exit is 100% legitimate, not a work. He addressed speculation directly, saying it would be in bad taste to run an angle about losing your job. Kross seems to be thriving outside WWE, exploring new projects. Braun Breaker might be getting held back by his faction, according to Baron Corbin. Corbin worked closely with Breaker in NXT and believes the Vision faction is cutting off Breaker's natural personality and wit. This week's SmackDown in Chicago has sold over 14,000 tickets, largely due to John Cena's final Chicago appearance and CM Punk being advertised. If the AJ Lee rumors are true, this could be a show for the ages. Finally, Kelly has signed a new WWE Legends deal, opening the door for future appearances and possibly even matches down the road. So there you have it, 7 explosive stories that are shaking the wrestling world right now. From AJ Lee's botched surprise return to Matt Riddle's charity scandal, from Ric Flair calling out Triple H to Drake's Rhea Ripley obsession, this week has been absolutely insane. The biggest takeaway here is how these stories show different sides of the wrestling business. You've got the excitement of surprise returns, the disappointment of unprofessional behavior, the politics of backstage booking decisions, and the incredible mainstream appeal that WWE is achieving. What's your take on these stories? Are you excited about AJ Lee's return despite WWE spoiling it? Do you think Matt Riddle's behavior is inexcusable? And what do you make of Drake's obsession with Rhea Ripley? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single one and respond to as many as I can. If you enjoyed this breakdown of the wildest wrestling news, smash that like button and make sure you're subscribed with notifications on because I'm dropping exclusive wrestling content every single day. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video, where we dive even deeper into the wrestling world's biggest secrets.